My goodness.
What are you doing, Nico?
I'm trying to clean.
You're trying to clean your seat? It is Monday morning. We literally moved to another country over the weekend, and I am working this morning because Clayton and I are both self-employed, which means you don't really like have PTO. So we're just like back at it this week. So I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at the moment, but in some ways it's also kind of nice to like get back into work because it's something that feels normal, where I'm like, okay, like there are some things that are normal and the same, even though like our lives just completely changed in the past few days. So I don't have a ton of time to chat right now. Remy's currently sleeping, so that's the baby monitor you hear in the background. Clayton is out with Nico. They had to go pick up diapers and they stopped at a park. So I can get a little bit of work done before I have to leave in about 45 minutes to go meet a nanny that I'm interviewing. So we have our 2 kids and need childcare, obviously, since Clayton and I both work. And we're gonna try to get Nico into, my oldest, he's a toddler, into like a preschool. It's called Force School, or a daycare situation. But I'm kind of looking for like part-time, half days. But in the meantime, we need a childcare. So I got connected with this nanny agency that sounds really great. So I'm meeting with her for coffee in a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. I do feel really lucky though, because my sister-in-law is coming to visit us in 2 days, and she was Nico's nanny for like his first year of life, and is so great with the boys. So she's here to visit and like for us to hang out, but we can also like use her to babysit for around 2 weeks while we're still like looking for a nanny and for school options. So there's just like a lot to figure out. So I try to take advantage of any working time that I get. And then usually I would work at nighttime, since like all of my clients are in the US. So like the time difference, we're 6 hours out of East Coast. So the time difference works to like work at nighttime, which I usually do anyway, because like the boys are in bed. That's when I can like catch up on things. The problem is that the boys are not sleeping super great at night yet. Like I feel like I can't quite tell if it's like jet lag still. I mean, it's been what, like a couple of nights. We got here on Friday and it's Monday. So I haven't really given them that much time to acclimate. It's like the jet lag, and it's also just like being in a totally new environment. So you feel like a little bit spooked. So that's hard, because I'm like, okay, well, when the boys like need a lot more assistance at night, it makes it trickier to work. Anyway, it's all gonna be fine. We're gonna figure it out. When I have a little bit more time to chat, I'll catch you up on everything else, like how we're even here. I'm getting questions on like the DAFT visa and all the like nitty-gritties around how we got here. So I can share some of that experience and how we figured out how we can even make this happen. I wanna say, I don't know why, I find this so fun. how do you even say it? It's called like the Stokey Trip Trap. If you're a mom in the US, like you know the chokehold that this chair has on moms. Well, we showed up in this house, which is fully furnished, and the woman who usually lives here has a son who's a bit older than ours. We walked in and they had two of the like Trip Trap chairs, but they were set up more like this, where it's like a toddler chair. But I recognized it immediately, and so Clayton went to like a store this weekend and bought like the accessories to turn it into like a little chair for Remy. So you just had to buy like this piece and this, and it turned it from like a toddler chair into a baby chair. And I don't know why, that just like made me so happy. It's like a little thing that just like feels like, oh, like I know what that is, and I recognize it from home. And now Remy has like his own little seat to sit in, which is very helpful because he just learned how to crawl and pull himself up on things, like literally as we were moving. Like we were staying with my family for a week in between like getting out of our house and moving here. In that time, he learned how to do this, which is like a lot for your baby to go from just kind of like being able to like lay there to fully crawling and like trying to climb upstairs and like just danger zone everywhere. Is a lot, like when we just moved into a new space. So I'm trying to figure out ways to like contain him. So here's one. I just ordered like a playpen, which like I've actually never had to do with Nico because he just like wasn't, I don't know, like I feel like he wasn't as like actively adventurous as Remy is. So yeah, we're trying to figure that out as well, because he will not just like lay there while I am working. No, he would be like out the door, up the stairs. Anyway, oh my goodness, my hair. We need to figure out something before I go meet this girl. That was quite rambly. I'm still slightly delirious, but I just wanted to say hey, and I will give more of an update later this week. Oh man. Hidden underneath my jacket to keep it safe, which I thought was very clever. What in the world has this week been? We are on a date right now. Thank you to Auntie MK. We put the boys down for their afternoon nap, and we just went
being alone without kids
in Europe since having kids. Because we've traveled quite a bit with Nico internationally, but we never had a babysitter. So this is so nice. Mommy's a little bit tipsy on the one Paloma that I had. But it's really nice just to take a minute to like breathe and be together without our kids, who we love so much. We need a little break from. It has been such a crazy week. Like, I think we just have to like stop and realize everything that's happened. Also, sorry this vlog is so chaotic because I honestly don't even remember like what I filmed. I promise the future ones will be a little bit more like informational, but this has just been like, we literally arrived here last weekend. We tried to unpack as much as we could, and then we started work again on Monday, and we did not have childcare this week, and still had to like start figuring things out, like interviewing nannies, looking at school options for Nico, ordering a mattress for him, ordering bedding, finding pillows, finding just like random things like baby locks for underneath the kitchen.
By today, at least I was.
We're very glad that Mary Catherine is staying with us. That's Clayton's little sister. She's staying with us for 2 weeks so we can have her babysit when we need. But like even little things, like actually last weekend on Saturday, 2 of Clayton's college buddies happened to be in town. They both had layovers in Amsterdam. Like, what are the odds? It was like our first day in Amsterdam, and one of them, Johnny, like went to this store like outside of Amsterdam to help him pick out like a crib and like a couple baby things and bring them back. So there's just been like a lot of random things happening since we moved here. But this week's gonna be good, knock on wood, because Mary Catherine's gonna help babysit. We have also met some amazing nanny options who we're gonna test out this week. And I've been trying to figure out school options for Nico. But even that has just been like a whole thing, like emailing back and forth with like administration, and I need to get him on the waiting list and like sign him up and all these things, and doing it in a, you know, another language, talking to the mommies at the playground and asking them like, hey, have you heard of this daycare? Have you heard of this preschool? So it's just been a lot, but it feels really good to be here, right?
Feels really good to be here. It's like putting on, I mean, it's like any other move except on steroids, because you're doing so many things for the first time at once on a different time zone, when
different
the language barrier is different culturally.
Even like using the washer and dryer for the first time, like I realized when I got into our
all
house,
the way up to like complicated things. So it's a huge adjustment, and I feel like it just exercises a different muscle in your brain. But I'm honestly, I don't know, I feel like I've grown up so much in the last week already.
Learning how to like stay calm
getting
through
new life
stressful
skills.
situations,
Yeah, you're working
right?
through stuff on the fly, and like, yeah, I mean it's way different too than like if you just move by yourself as a 20-somethings, like to a new city, like you just have yourself to worry about. But when it's a family, you're like, okay, I have my partner and I have my kids, and
helping kids adjust to jet lag, figuring out school and nanny stuff, helping them understand what's happening,
logistical stuff, like emotional stuff. There's all kinds of
we're
things.
also still figuring out like, or we're still filling out paperwork for our visas, which I think I'm just gonna do another vlog that answers like Q&A about like DAFT visa and like our immigration lawyer and like how we even got here. But we're still like having to do all of that stuff to like open up our Dutch bank account. Like there's just so many things. I love it, like the feeling of being challenged. I don't know, I feel like I love the feeling of like being a little bit uncomfortable in a space that you feel like you're, like what you're adapting to is something that you're like excited about. So like I like the challenge of that. But it is a little bit like spooky at first, because I think getting into our house, even like last weekend, I was like, I don't know how to use the microwave, I don't know how to use the oven, I don't know how to use the washer and dryer. And like once you do it on your own like once or twice, then it's totally fine. But even like learning how to use the keys and the doors, like everything is just different. What's 911 here? Like how do I use my phone? Like we like change our phone plan. Like there's just like a lot of like little things that just like everything feels a little bit uncomfortable. But then you feel really excited when you're like a week in, like now, and you're like, wow, like literally just 1 week already I feel more comfortable. So imagine how we'll feel in like a month or a year. And I think that progress feels exciting. But we're definitely still really tired. Yeah. And we have a lot to do. So I think this vlog is gonna end here because yeah, we just gotta get some stuff done. But I will do some future vlogs with better information. But I hope you enjoyed a little peek into the chaos that is moving to another country with your family of 4 over the weekend. It's crazy.